What is up, everybody? TriforceCaboose here. I hope you all are having a wonderful day today. If you can hear my voice right now, then you have stumbled into another episode of Go Figure. This is my part of the internet where I am your host, and I take you through all things action figures, statues, bust, or anything of the sort. But I won't run my mouth too long. If you want to catch me on any other part of the internet, all the links to my socials are down below. But without me running my mouth, let's get right into today's video. But I hope to see you around, hope you're doing well, and look forward to chatting with you soon. Be safe and be good people, my friends. What is up, everybody? TriforceCaboose here, and welcome to another episode of Go Figure. And today we are taking a look at the WWE Elite Series 83 Edge. I am very, very excited to review this figure. Edge is one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. I love what Mattel has done with this sculpt for Edge. I am, honest to God, head over heels with this figure. The actual regular run figure I don't have in packaging, but obviously the Chase variant here and his gear from Backlash I do have, and we'll go over that in a second because there is a small running change that the figure has that my base run has that my variant doesn't. But I figure I'd get them both up here on the display. We'll go through the packaging and then we'll actually go through the version I have out of box and talk about what we like and what we don't like. So yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and get these figures off of the stand and into the hand. So I know I'm late to the party in reviewing Series 83. By the time this review goes up, this will be significantly an older figure. Not significantly, but it will be an older figure. But this is actually one of the figures that inspired me to go through with filming my reviews on channel. So shout outs to Edge. I doubt Edge will ever see this. You know, I know Adam Copeland is a very busy individual. He's coming up. When I'm filming this, WrestleMania is next week. He is going to be main eventing night 2. I love Edge. I doubt Edge will ever see this, but Edge, if you ever see this, know you're an inspiration, and yeah, that's it. I have nothing but praise for Edge my entire time watching wrestling. So, now that I'm done marking out over Edge and fanboying, let's go ahead and take a look. You have your basic Mattel WWE Elite packaging here. You got your certified sticker, your TrueFX, window box into Edge. Like I said, this is the Chase variant figure. We will go over the regular run figure here in a second. This is in his gear from Backlash. Interchangeable hands, soft goods t-shirt. Sides, you have a nice picture of Edge, and I love, love, love the entrance coat. Here on the back, you have your little read-up on Edge. Give you guys a second here if you want to pause and look at that. And then also you have the rest of the figures in this line. Nice close-up of Edge. Legal stuff on the bottom. Little WWE logo and everything up top. And that's about it. I did pick up the Chase variant because I wanted more copies of this figure. This figure is something I want in my collection. I'll probably end up picking up a few more, but for now, yeah, this is what it looks like on card. I bought this one already opened. One thing I will note is if you look at his hands, the interchangeable hands compared to the running change, when the hands first came out and Series 83 first came out, they actually gave him 2 sweet Wolfpack hands as opposed to the metal hands, which is kind of funny because even in our Finn Balor's, our AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, anything like that, even like Triple H figures, Shawn Michaels figures, anyone who does the 2 sweet hand gesture, they hadn't put any out that were, and I think back what I said about AJ, I believe AJ actually did have some that were in the glove, but this is the first like ungloved skin tone 2 sweet hands we got, and it was actually via accident. Because like I say, in the actual run, you can see Edge has his traditional devil horns as opposed to the 2 sweet fingers. So I just thought that was pretty neat. I don't know if they fixed this in all the Chase variants or if all the Chase variants still have this, but yeah. I just thought this was pretty neat. So now let's get down to an actual open figures that we can look at. Starting with his accessories, we do have the return shirt that Edge had. It's a nice soft good shirt, your typical Mattel Velcro in the back shirt. I do like having this. It looks really good on the figure, and I think it really brings everything together. I love the cloth goods over the rubber goods when it comes to Mattel, whether it be shirts, entrance jackets, attires, everything like that. I'd much prefer to have cloth than any of like the thicker like rubber goods. It just makes things a lot easier with posing and things like that. We already talked about them a little bit in detail, but I'll just go ahead and talk about it here again. You do have the rock and roll hands, the devil horns that Edge throws up during his entrance. They're excellently sculpted. I'm trying to think, I know these have been used. I don't think Edge was the first person to use this sculpt. I'm pretty sure it's been used other times, but it looks great. Fits Edge. Nice sculpt work, nice paint work. Nothing bad to say about it there. And then you have his gripping hands, which every figure should come with a pair of gripping hands. Whether it's mic holding, you want to grip a steel chair, you want to grip literally any weapon. Figures that just come with closed fist irritate me if they don't have any holding hands that match their skin tone, because I want to put stuff in figures' hands when I make them do wrestling stuff. Wrestlers hold stuff, figures should hold stuff too. So that does it for the accessories. Not a ton to look at there, but now let's get into the meat and potatoes of this figure, which is the rated R superstar Edge. For the height of this Edge figure, he is standing in just below the 7-inch mark and just below the 28 centimeter mark. So let's go ahead and talk about the most interesting part of this Edge figure, which is the new updated head sculpt. I love this head sculpt. I do think that it captures the likeness of Edge very well. I don't know if I would have went for the smiling face for his return sculpt. I'd much rather have him with like a closed, determined look. I understand when he came back, it's a big deal, but he went into that feud with Randy Orton. Edge has always been a very, very serious, like especially this look since he's come back, he's been very serious, very determined. So I would like to have had that in an actual figure form reflected. But, you know, like I say, it does, I wish there was maybe some highlights in the hair. Edge's hair isn't necessarily that dark all the way around, but, you know, very minor complaints. The paint apps on mine are magnificent. I like the bit of shading with the gray in the beard, kind of give you that old man Edge look. Not that you were an old man Edge, but kind of playing on the old man Logan. Look, there are some small inconsistencies with the figure, whereas he doesn't have the black circles. His actual elbow pads are in this point, I believe, were actually black here. And then I believe his boots down here where they're black should actually be a chrome color. So I might take some paint and do some touch-ups. My biggest gripe with this figure is that they use this torso, which I believe is the Daniel Bryan torso, because from WrestleMania last year, which was WrestleMania 36, I believe, Edge worked hard on his appearance, and my boy was ripped, and my boy was hairy. I would have loved to have seen some body hair on there, and I just think they should have gone with a slightly more ripped torso. I feel like it would fit Edge a little bit better. I have seen people do fix-ups with this figure where they use, I think it's a Series 9, it's one of the older Series Cesaro figures, and they actually have that, they crack that and put that on there because it matches skin tone, it has the body hair, and I may do that if I get another one of these figures. I really like this figure, so I don't want to really do a torso crack or anything on it. I may end up doing it just because my ab joint is ridiculously loose, but overall, that's my main gripe with this figure, is my boy was shredded, my boy was hairy. Give him that big bear country look. Outside of that, we do have tattoos, very vibrant, very well done, no paint smears. I can easily, clearly tell what everything is supposed to be right on over here. And then we pull the elbow pad down. Get the tattoo work over there, the Rated R logo, which I believe, if I remember right, is supposed to be slightly rotated, but not a huge deal. Again, you have the logo that's on the shirt, on the actual attire there. Nice maroon knee pads, nice kick pads, and again, the only thing I can say is I think that's supposed to be silver. I also did notice, compared to my SummerSlam Edge, which is a retro Edge figure that they put out, they actually went with like really thick legs for this Edge compared to that, because I haven't been able to get another Elite Edge. I don't have any of his original run Edges or anything like that before he had to retire. But these are very thick legs, and I think they look excellent for Edge's figure. Here's a comparison to the SummerSlam Elite Edge that they had put out. Ignore the tape here on this Edge's waist. He's currently being rebuilt by me, and I just haven't got around to finishing him. But I did want to show off a comparison of their heights and just how much Edge has changed. And the head sculpts, God. It is ridiculous to me how good this head sculpt looks. But then also coming down to like the actual thighs, this figure has bigger thighs, and I think it just fits Edge so well. One day I'll finish fixing this figure. He doesn't believe me. Now to go through articulation. With the hair here, obviously, you're not going to get him to look up very far. He will look a bit down. Again, the hair pieces. His head's going to be pretty stable in its up and down orientation just because of the hair. But he will look... Oh, that looks awful. Doesn't feel right to turn him like that. Arms, full 360. They'll go up that far. Oh, well, I'm not showing you the bicep rotation if the shoulder rotates, but full 360 on that. Single jointed elbows. I am looking forward to getting double jointed elbows in the Elite line. Full 360. Hand goes in that far. And out that far. And that articulation is the same for the rock and roll hands. As for the ab crunch, he will bend this far forward, this far back, full 360 at the waist. Now you guys know I judge figures very heavily on how high they can kick, and my boy can deliver a straight right angle kick. You do have the double jointed knees. The knee pad on will take you that far, which is no problem. You have boot rotation for a full 360, and then his feet will go down that far and up that far. Only other small gripe, my right foot is incredibly loose, but, you know, it's nothing I can't fix or nothing that's going to be a make or break deal for this magnificent figure. This is honestly one of my favorite Elite figures. So guys, if it is not obvious yet by all the gushing I am doing over this figure, I absolutely adore this figure. Again, major gripes, no body hair, edge could use to be a little ripped, and there's a few small discrepancies with the actual attire, but still, I will not lie to you when I tell you this is absolutely one of my favorite figures that Mattel has ever put out. It has a pristine place in my collection, and I am dying to get my hands on more copies of this, more copies of the Chase variant. Put Edge all over my collection. All over it. All over it. So yeah, guys, there you have it. There's my thoughts on the WWE Elite Series 83 Edge figure. Honestly, you know, I don't rate figures from a scale of 1 to 10, but I will say I do think that this figure is a must-have for any collector of WWE Mattel figures. It is by far one of the best figures that they have put out for me in a while. It hits the total package of everything that I want out of an Edge figure. The small discrepancies and small issues I have with it are in no way to detract from the figure. I do wish they had done my boy Edge a little more justice with the ripness and the hairiness, because Edge worked hard. I mean, the man was retired for over a decade and came back, and he put in the work, and I'd like for the figure form to show that. I hope maybe we'll get that. I love the head sculpt. I know the head sculpt's getting reused with a slightly different hair color for one of the WWE basic figures, which honestly, in preview of that, just real quick, I think that figure looks disgusting. That shirt color on Edge just looks like baby puke, and I'm not a fan of that. But that will be another version of this head sculpt that you can grab to quickly pop off and do some mix and matches with a different hair color if you want to, you know, fix up this Edge figure. Overall, immaculate figure. I can't give it enough praise. I will be trying to pick up the Ultimate Edition Edge that Mattel put out recently because I'd like to give that a review as well. So that's going to be on my list. But for now, I am beyond content with this figure. I hope Edge takes the belt home at WrestleMania. I have all my eggs in that basket, and if Edge loses, then I will be a very, very sad boy. And while I don't have the blue Universal title in figure form, we went ahead and just adorned him with the WWE Championship for those good vibes to get my boy home with that belt once again. But guys, above everything else, if you don't take anything away besides the information on the figure to help you with your purchase process, I want you to take a second to appreciate yourselves. Breathe in and breathe out, because sometimes negativity can weigh down on us and sometimes we can be our own worst critics. And I want you, each and every one of you, I want each and every one of you to know this world is a better place with you in it, and you make it a better place. Don't let anything ever tell you otherwise or take you away from the place you want to be. The pleasure, as always, has been all mine, and until we meet up on the tracks for our next crazy figure review, this caboose is loose and leaving the station. Be safe and be good people, my friends.